Hey there, this is Will again from Untied Games. This is going to be a little different from previous devlogs because, for once, I'm not going to be talking about Admiralcopter. Today I've just got some announcements and an update on the various things I've been working on, so let's get started. First off, some big Patreon news. A couple weeks ago, I hit my first milestone on Patreon. At $10 a month, it may not sound like a very ambitious milestone, but I made it a low value because I really want to do it. What is it, you ask? Making games, of course. Making games is something I've been doing pretty much all my life, and it's what I'm currently staking my future around with Untied Games. So, I'm proud to announce that we've blown past this milestone, and I'll start making minigames. Now, these minigames will be free for everyone to play, and my patrons will be the first to see them. The cool thing about minigames is that I can throw some of my ideas for games out there, and if they stick, maybe eventually they can turn into full games. Now, of course, I'm also going to continue doing pixel art tile sets roughly once a week, and I'm actually going to use some of them myself in these minigames. Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? I make the art, then I can sort of reuse it in a game. I already know which tile set I want to use first. I'd like to start off simple with a space shooter using the Talnus Sector graphics. I haven't made a space shooter since I was playing around in college, so it should be pretty fun. Regarding minigames, I also have another announcement. I switched up some of my Patreon milestones. Initially, one of the milestone goals that I created way back when I started my Patreon was that I would revisit my tile sets and make improvements to them. Now, I've been thinking about this for a while, and I came to the conclusion that A, I don't really want to go back and work on stuff that I view as fairly complete, and B, it would be a lot better if I just release new stuff, right? So that's what I'm going to do. My next milestone goal is that when I release a minigame, I will also release an art pack of player sprites, enemy sprites, power-ups, bosses, and whatever else I created for the game, just for patrons. It'll be a lot more fun releasing new stuff like that than going back to older stuff. So, can we expect the first minigame soon? Yes and no. Let me explain why. October and November are filled with a ton of stuff for me. First of all, I'm going to an event called Rhapsody on November 13th and 14th. Rhapsody is a gaming convention that focuses primarily on music and sound work, but it also offers a space for indie developers like myself to show off our work. So naturally, I'll be there. I was there last year with Untied Games' first game, Star Reaction. This year, I'll be there with Admiralcopter. So there's a lot of work to do in order to get Admiralcopter shipshape and ready to show off. If you've been following my devlogs, you know that it needs a little more work, so I'm going to get to that. Admiralcopter is pretty high priority right now for me, but I also have something else going on. Right now, actually. Charlie McCarran, our musician at Untied Games, also does a really cool podcast called Composer Quest. He assigns various quests to his followers, who then compose something that satisfies the requirements of the quest. So what does that have to do with me? I'm not a composer, and I can barely read sheet music. Well, this year, in a partnership with Rhapsody, Charlie announced a quest that includes programmers, artists, and composers. What kind of quest could that be? Well, it's a game jam, of course. I signed up for it, and since I can both program and do art, I was paired with a composer, and we're going to make a game together. The time frame for making the game is pretty lenient, and we have until Sunday to complete it. So with the work I have to do for the game jam, as well as the work I have to do to prepare Admiralcopter for Rhapsody, I unfortunately won't have much time to work on the space shooter minigame that I want to make for you guys. But wait, the good news is that I'm making a game anyway. The game I'm making for the game jam. I can just release it for free when it's done. So, I'm going to be making a minigame for everyone, but it's not the one I was initially planning on making first, which is totally okay. It just means more games in the end. October and November are going to be very busy months for me, so wish me luck. Because I'll be working hard on the Game Jam and Admiralcopter, the next new tile set will probably be next week. In the meantime, I hope I'll be able to create an awesome game for you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.